I'm here to arrest you.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast. That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast. That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast. That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast.
The United States police force is an essential aspect for the safety and well-being of our citizens. Early in the 1600s, various cities across the United States instituted night watch programs, but through the years that deemed to be a non-viable solution to the problem of crime. It was not until 1833 that the idea of a centralized municipal form of observation came up, so the first day watch program was established in Philadelphia. Then 5 years later, the first official police force was established in Boston.
My name is Anna Bungartz, and I've been a police officer for 16 years, going on 17 years. Been with the Commerce City Police Department 8 years, and I'm currently a acting supervisor or street sergeant.
My name is Derek Aragon. I'm a detective here in Commerce City. I've held this detective position and been in investigations unit for 7 years now.
Hello, my name is Troy Smith, and I'm the police chief for the Commerce City Police Department.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
I was a cadet with the Adams County Sheriff's Office, so I got in when I was like 16 years old as a cadet just to determine what the job entailed, did some ride-alongs and figured how exciting it was, and spoke to a lot of police officers. They said it was, ever-changing, and being able to engage in the community and make a difference in the community, essentially. I always knew as soon as I got in that this is kind of my path. This is what I was put on the earth essentially to do. I really like my job. The excitement helps a lot, obviously.
I love the job. Been doing it now almost 18 years. I love the detective portion of it. I loved patrol when I came back, much like when I thought this would be a good little change for promotion-wise to get into detective, and got into the job for a couple reasons. A, I needed a career. I've always looked at law enforcement as a noble job, helping people. Back in junior high, actually high school, there was a business law class. A couple of Boulder PD. I grew up in Boulder, which is a lot better than Arvada, just so we know. A couple of cops came in, and I remember their names to this day. When I was a junior, it was Dave Allen and JT Toperick, and they came in and spoke and in uniform, and it just had a lasting impression on me that I can tell you now. Junior high for me, my sophomore year, junior year, 86. So 30 years later, I can tell you these guys' names. I know where they're still at. I've played golf with them a couple times. They had a lasting influence on me. And at that point, I really wanted to be, at that point in my life, I thought that would be a great job to do.
I chose this line of work to help people. Okay. Yeah, that's what really, I think, draws many police officers to the work that they do.
The news lately has almost seemed to build a bad reputation for several police officers, oftentimes making it hard to do their job. Society has begun to view the police department as more of a negative and not seeing what good they do in our individual communities.
You see all these things. It's been kind of a war on police officers, and I don't obviously disagree with all that, and it's just a dangerous job. A lot of those are the patrol officers. I mean, they see the uniform, they see the patrol car. I'm in an unmarked car. I get to dress this way, so I don't get really viewed as a they see me as a threat, or they don't know I'm a cop until really it's they see underneath or something like that. So it's just right now it's a bad time to, well, I wouldn't say it's a bad time. It's just a different culture. For some reason there's this belief, and it's a racial thing, and it's not. It's never about that. There's some bad cops out there, but it's just like any other profession. You're going to have that bad seed. You're going to have some people out there that are going to ruin it for the others, but it's not indicative of the whole culture. It's not indicative of every officer out there. So unfortunately, it's just come to a very dangerous time for being a police officer right now.
Well, there's hundreds of thousands of police officers in the United States, and unfortunately, one bad act is what's being caught on camera. 99.9% of police officers are going out and doing the good work that police officers are known to be, and this job is about. Unfortunately, those small acts are what people are focusing on right now. But there's great police that are going out of their way and helping people that are homeless, buying, single mothers, diapers for their kids and food, and really just going out and doing great community work that unfortunately isn't being seen right now. It's mostly just focused on, a few acts of police brutality that unfortunately is getting the microscope right now and hitting the media. A lot of people think police work is just about, driving fast, arresting bad guys, putting bad guys in jail, but that's probably only about 10% of our job. The 90% is actually engaging with the community and getting out and talking to citizens and just really knowing the neighborhood and kind of having an ear essentially to the ground of what's going on the street. And really we're kind of like a therapist, a teacher, a best friend, a kind of a sounding board for people in their worst times. I mean, if you think about the times that you've ever called the police, it's normally in the midst of a crisis. So kind of wrapping all of those combined careers into one person, essentially.
I would want people to know that being a police officer is a very, very difficult job. And that officers are asked to make really tough decisions, oftentimes in compressed time periods. And we don't always get it right. But police officers, I think, all over the country try to do the best they can with the information that they have to make good decisions about the safety of our communities. And so that's one thing I would want people to know is how difficult the job is. And they do that knowing that there is risk associated with the job, right? Some police officers don't get to go home at the end of the night. Fortunately, that's a small percentage of the total police officers in our country, but it is a fact that remains in the minds of anyone who wears a badge for a living. The second thing I would like for people to know is that we absolutely have an obligation as police organizations to evaluate how we do the work of policing our communities. And that obligation means that we're willing to examine our policies and our practices and our training and the requirements that we have and ensure that the services that we are delivering are in alignment with what the community expects from us.
Great.
People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end. People, let me
If
tell
you don't
you
mind, I
about
can give you a
my
little
best friend.
gang sign that we use together. So a lot of cops do this, which is to the body, one to the head. A lot of people probably don't say that, but that's how we train at the range, like 2 shots to the body, 1 to the head. So you probably won't see that too much, right? So that's pretty kind of a cool one. You see other cops in bars and you're like, it's kind of a strange thing, but that's how we greet each other.
Yeah, I would offer to upcoming police officers that at this time in our nation's history, it's incredibly important that we do things and behave in ways that continue to hold the public's trust.
There's this sense of entitlement, and I've always been one, you gotta work hard for everything you get, and you work hard, and in the end, everything will work out.
Stay out of trouble. Your past will come and haunt you. I mean, you might think that right now you're in high school and things aren't going to matter, but everybody looks at criminal histories nowadays, and some things that you probably did when you were out with your friends, thinking that you're just going to be a silly teenager and just go do some crazy things, can obviously haunt you for the rest of your life. So, but life is short. Live your dreams. Do what you want to do. Make the world a better place.